Good morning, Westside Community Church. This is Pastor Dixon once again from his home, coming to you for this weekly Bible class. We're still dealing with the book of Proverbs. And the subject that we're going to be dealing with is the sloth, the lazy person, or a shiftless person, or a sluggard. Those are the ways that the Bible mentions a lazy individual. Listen to the motto of a sluggard. He says, never do today what you can put off tomorrow. Sluggards have developed the ability to putting off and starting at tasks as well as completing those tasks that already begun. Listen what Proverbs 6:6 says about the sluggard. He says, go to the ant, sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. If you know the book of Proverbs, it goes from one extreme to another extreme. So we're going to one who is shiftless, not doing anything, all the way to the extreme of one doing something. And here we have, he said, go and consider the sluggard. Go sluggard and consider the ant. Watch how the ant work. Watch what the ant do. Anybody know anything about the ant? The ant will work from the spring, the summer, and the fall, storing up food, carrying up to 10 times their weight. And then in the wintertime, they're hidden. You don't find them. They go underground where they stored all food and eat for the winter. This is what a sluggard do, continuously working every day. Listen to the definition of a sluggard. It is a habituous, lazy person. Sloth happens to be one of the 7 capital sins in Christians' teaching. It is the most difficult sin to define. It deals with a person mentally, spiritually, pathological, and physical states. He is a person that is declined to exert no energy at all. Nothing worthwhile was ever accomplished without hard work. On the other hand, laziness and sloth hinders and impoverishes a man. Listen to what Proverbs 10:4-5 says, using the Message Bible. Sloths make you poor, but diligence bring wealth. Make hay while the sun shines. That's smart. Going fishing during harvest, that's stupid. In other words, they develop all the springtime land by planting and then don't go and harvesting and getting the crops. That's silly. Why even bother planting? Listen to what else Proverbs 13:11 says. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathers by the labor shall increase. Bottom line is this individual is an individual that's going to diminish and lose status and have no value at all, but a person that gathers late, he has value because he's a worker. He's trying to do different things. The Bible says in Proverbs 13:11 again, easy come, easy go. But study diligence pays off. Listen to what Kevin Aiken said about the book of Proverbs. Of all the people in the Bible, the most ridiculous person described is the sluggard. God actually makes fun of him. Clearly, the sage enjoyed poking fun and pouring ridicule on this lazy person. As we read the Proverbs, we are meant to smile. We are also meant to recall when we got out of our beds this morning and how we spent our entire day. Listen to the marks of a sluggard. Proverbs 26:14 says is that hinged to his bed, tossing back and forth, he sleepily thinks just a few more minutes. He cherishes sleep as an escape from responsibility. In other words, the sluggard loves the bed. He loves the bed. I don't want to get up now. Give me 3 more minutes. Have 2 more minutes. And I've known people who had to go to work, was up 2 or 3 hours ahead of time, finally got out of the bed, and still was late for work because they didn't want to do the necessities of getting themselves there on time. Listen to, he also has the inability to start. Listen what Proverbs 21, 25 through 26 says, along with Proverbs 9 through 10, 6, 9 through 10, or Proverbs 24, 33. He says, later, tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it later. Don't worry about it, I'll get it done. And tomorrow never comes. So he has an inability to start. He has the inability to stick with the task to its conclusion. Proverbs 19:24 or Proverbs 26:15. It says, he makes a promising start, but doesn't have the endurance or the energy necessary for completion. Proverbs 12:27. He works hard to achieve something, then let it go to waste. He has the inability to stick with a task to its conclusion. Let's go to the next one. Excuses. Proverbs 20:4, 22:13, or 26:13. He will find 101 reasons not to do something. It's either too cold, too dangerous, or too something. He's a master of excuses, no matter how wild or ridiculous. Let's go to another one. He talks about desires and success. He is as ambitious as anyone. Proverbs 13:4, 14:23, or 21:25 to 26. But the appetite which drives the worker to action drives the sluggard to frustration. He does not have it because he lacks diligence. He's not persistent. So he gets frustrated. The next thing that happens to him, a mark of a sluggard, he's full of advice. Proverbs 26:16. He thinks his day of observing other people work has made him wise and insightful. Next thing, there's consequences of laziness. Self-evident, self-ruin. Proverbs 24:30 through 4. It cannot be hidden. Listen to what it says in the Message Bible, Proverbs 24:30 to 4. One day I walked by the field of an old lazy bones, and then passed by the vineyard. Of a lot. They were overgrown with weeds, thick with thistle. All the broken fences was broken down. I took a long look and pondered what I saw. The fields preached me a sermon, and I listened. The sermon was, at verse 33, a nap here, a nap there, a day off here, a day off there. Take it easy, sit back. Do you know what comes next? Just this. You can look forward to a dirt poor life with poverty as your permanent house guest. This person is something else. Let's look at the next thing. He suffers poverty and he wants. Oh man, how can you do them both? Proverbs 12:11, Proverbs 19:15, Proverbs 20:4, Proverbs 24:34, Proverbs 28:19, and Proverbs 6:11. He obtains nothing for himself. God refuses to give him anything and forbid others from providing for him because he wants the person to work. Listen to what 2 Thessalonians 3 said, what Paul said to the people of Thessalonica. He said, don't you remember the rules we had when we lived with you? If you don't work, you don't eat. That's what Paul said. He told the people of Thessalonians, he told them that, hey, don't you remember what we did? We didn't work. We weren't worried about or be consumed about eating. He loses his independence. Proverbs 12:24. The diligent finds freedom in their work. The lazy are oppressed by their work. Then he's frustrated of getting nowhere. Proverbs 15:19, Proverbs 13:4, Proverbs 14:23, and Proverbs 21:25-26. He is trapped in his own self-perpetual cage. He is lazy, shiftless, a sloth. Listen to what else the Bible tells the employers, people who hire lazy people. In Proverbs 10:26 and 25:13, it says, if you want a task performed well and quickly, don't select a person with a lot of leisure time. Always pick a busy person. And then let's think about the opposite end. The industrious hard worker. This person is self-motivated and he is disciplined. Let's look at what it says in Proverbs 10:4 and 5. It says this, not when it's convenient, neither does he put off until it's too late to accomplish that work. The necessity of doing work when it needs to be done. The industrious person will do that work when it needs to be done. He don't care about the weather. It needs to be done. He will do it. That is what we're looking for in the church. Industrious people, not the sloth, not the sluggard spirit, but somebody willing to do what needs to be done at any cost to carry on the mission of God. Listen to what it says about this industrious person in Proverbs 22:29. Observe people who are good at their work. Skilled workers are always in demand and admired. They don't take a backseat to anyone. They don't. People get upset when other people get promoted on the job. Sometimes it's because of nonsense. And then again, there's sometimes when a person really worked hard and deserved to be promoted. If you work hard, God says you'll be promoted. If you're lazy on your job, don't look for a raise. Don't look for promotion because you're not going to get it. Unless the such thing as luck happens, Satan throws something your way. The next thing, he's rewarded for his industrious work. Proverbs 10:4. He becometh poor that deal with a slack hand. A person with a slack hand, a lazy hand, don't want to put it to work. You will become poor. You will always be begging for somebody to give you a helping hand. You'll be looking for the government to give you a helping hand. You'll be looking for people, friendships to give you a helping hand. All because you were too lazy to go to school and get your degree and to finish at the top of your class. So now, because of your laziness, you have to collect some type of assistance, all because you put in a predicament, because you didn't have the education, whatever it may be. Laziness is a sin. And listen what it says. But the hand of the diligent maketh rich. In other words, that individual has enough to provide for himself, enough to get what he needs. He has enough to go get a car. He has enough. Sometimes we become too lazy. We don't even want to pay our creditors. I don't understand it. Laziness is a bad habit and it's a bad spirit and it is a sin. They make fun of it in the Proverbs because they want people to do and work hard. God don't want lazy people. Everyone that God called was busy doing something. Amos was out there with the goats. Gibeon was out there working in the fields. Every man that God called, David when he got his call, he was out shepherding. Lazy people will miss the call. The last note. Listen what it says in Proverbs 13:4. The King James Version says this: the soul of the sluggard desireth and have nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. Another way to put it, indolence, laziness, wants it all and gets nothing. The energetic have something to show for their lives. Listen, I pray that you will be delivered from that lazy spirit, and that God will bless you, and that God will keep you, and God will increase your harvest, because you have diligently became an industrious person who want to work at what you got. There's nothing wrong with work. Work is healthy. Work is good. Matter of fact, work can, extend your life. I pray that you learned something from this Bible class. It was brief, it was short. Gave you a lot of scriptures in Proverbs. Read the book of Proverbs in its whole entirety. I asked my church about 8 months ago to read the book of Proverbs because I want them to increase in wisdom. I want them to increase in their knowledge. I'm asking you, take the time, read Proverbs, read the book of Proverbs, and you will be made great. Thank you.